Epoxy grouting on large projects can be an expensive and stressful task. Incon has developed systems designed to reduce that stress, reduce labor, and cut the time it takes to grout on these larger projects. Our Epoxy Auto Mix equipment mixes the epoxy resin and hardener as it pumps it, eliminating much of the mixing time. The mixed epoxy liquids are dispensed directly into the mixer. However, if your project is more manageable, the traditionally mixed liquids may also be poured into the mixer. The epoxy grout aggregate is then fed into the mixer by breaking the mini bulk bag onto the mixer. The flow of the aggregate is controlled by contact of the bag with the grate to ensure the flow of the material doesn't bog down the mixer. Most of these bags of aggregate are filled with 3 units worth of material. Since the blades of the mixer are turning during the emptying of the bag, the grout is completely wetted out just about the time the bag is empty. The mixed epoxy grout is then moved to the pump hopper or into the form. If you are pumping the epoxy grout, the pump hoses should be lubricated with the epoxy liquids. The epoxy grout is much thicker, but because of the many negative factors associated with pouring it, the pumping method is the best way to get consistently good results. On larger, wet setting applications, the mixer can be dumped directly into the forms in just seconds. This method of mixing and placing epoxy grout can be done with 5 to 6 workers as opposed to the 12 to 16 used on conventional epoxy grouting projects. For the largest projects, 3 workers can mix and pour an average of 3 units every 4 minutes. Call Incon when you're planning your next epoxy grouting project.